Hi, welcome in the Restras Khwarizmi Mathematical Forum. Today we are going to discuss about the converse of the Lagrange theorem. Which are the cases where the converse of Lagrange theorem is going to be true, okay? And how do the investigation regarding the converse of the Lagrange theorem and the Lagrange theorem is noticed by the certain mathematicians. Okay, this video is going to be useful not only for those who are preparing CSIR, NET, IIT, JEM, NBHM. Is also going to be useful for those who are doing research in modern algebra. Okay, so let us start. Since we know that about the Lagrange, in the previous video I have talked about Lagrange theorem very well. Okay, now I will talk about converse of Lagrange theorem. Since we know that if con converse of Lagrange theorem, okay, if alpha divides n, where n is nothing but the order of the group, which is assumed in the previous video, that n is nothing but the order of the group and alpha is just a divisor. Okay, alpha is some integer less than or equal to n. Okay, if alpha does not divide n, then there is no problem. Okay, whichever group one may choose, whether finite abelian, finite non-abelian, if alpha doesn't divide the order of the group, then it's hold true, as it's just the contrapositive of Lagrange theorem. Okay, so our problem is what? Problem is that when alpha divides n, okay, when alpha divides n and alpha is some positive integer, okay, and less than or equal to n, where n is nothing but the order of the group and group is finite already assumed. Okay, so now let me answer of this question is given by Cauchy and Sylow. Okay, Cauchy says that if alpha is prime, and I already discussed in the previous video when alpha is prime, and that is just the Cauchy theorem. Okay, our problem which is modified by Sylow, which is about that if alpha is non-prime, okay, if alpha is non-prime and G is non-abelian, if G is abelian group, then the converse of Lagrange theorem is hold. If G is abelian group, okay, if G is non-abelian and alpha is prime, then this problem is also solved by Cauchy. Answer is just a Cauchy theorem. Okay, if alpha is non-prime and G is non-abelian, answer of this question is given by Sylow. Okay, Sylow just reduce alpha into the canonical form p1 to power m1, p2 to power m2 dot, which may go up to pn m to power n. Okay, for every pi, pj are co-primes, means each pi, p2 are distinct primes. Okay, find Sylow expressed alpha into the canonical form, means prime factorization. Okay, since we know that by the arithmetic theorem, which is the basic theorem of the number theory, which says that each positive integer can be expressed is in the form of the prime factorizations. Okay, has prime factor after finite number of steps that ends. Okay, so Sylow used this, and since we know that Sylow theorem says that if p to power m divides order of G, implies that G has subgroup of order p to power m. Okay, now p to power m divides order of G, implies that G has a subgroup of order p to power m. Okay, since we always assume that G is a finite group and non-abelian group as well. If G is abelian, then answer is given by the converse of the Lagrange theorem, which says that if G is finite, abelian group and any number which divides the order of the group, then that group must have a at least one subgroup of that order. Must have at least one subgroup of that. That is solved. There is no tension about that. Okay, only we need to think about when G is non-abelian. Okay, so we use the silo. When G is non-abelian, then we use silo. Otherwise we easily solves. Okay, so p to power m, then G has a subgroup of order p to power m. G has also subgroups of order p to power 2, p to power 3 up to p to power m. Okay, this is Silo theorem. It's just the Silo theorem, and answer of this question is given by Silo if alpha is non-prime. Okay, now let us discuss one question which is asked in CSIR net December 2019 and which is based on Silo theorem. Okay, I already discussed that type of question. If anyone who has seen my video, then surely he may have done that question. Okay, question is that how many Silo 3 subgroups does S3 have? Okay, and there is 4 given option. Its weightage is 4.75, asked in CSIR net December 2019. Okay, and its weightage is 4.7. But does this question says how many Silo 3 subgroup does S3 have? Since we know that S3 is nothing but the symmetric group of degree 3. Okay, this Silo 3 subgroup means Silo P subgroup means P here is 3. Okay, just apply the option is given. First option I think maybe 1, second is 2, third is 4, and fourth is 8. Okay, so these are the options which are given, and this is multiple selected question, 4.75 marks question, which is asked in part C from the modern algebra. Okay, so just apply the Silo third theorem, which talks about the number of Silo P subgroups. Okay, and my order of G 1 plus Kp. Okay, this K, please if you don't know about the Silo third theorem, please go through first. Okay, before learning that statement. Okay, please you will not get anything else from here. Okay, please do that first. Read the statement and come here. Okay, so now 1 plus 3k, because my p is 3. Okay, so order of G, and since my G is what, S3, and order of S3 is order of, since we know that order of the symmetry group is the factorial of that, which is nothing but 6. Okay, let me write here 6. Okay, so k equal 0. If I choose k equal 0, it gives me 1 divided by 6, which is true. If k equal 1, that gives me 4 divided 6, which cannot be possible. If I choose 2, that here comes, which cannot be possible, as 7 is greater than 6. Okay, since a divisor cannot be greater than the number. Okay, so only k equal 0 which satisfies the condition. Only k equal 0. Only k equal 0 which satisfies. Okay, therefore G has 1 plus 0.3. Okay, 0.3 is what, 1. G has 1 Silo 3 subgroup. Okay, so my option first is going to be true, and rest of the options are going to be incorrect. Okay, thanks for watching the video. Please share as much as you can and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching the video.